Okay, welcome everybody to this weird Zoom that we have scheduled to talk to use to somebody to something about we don't usually talk. That is how to be properly dramatic. Maybe I'm not sure if Susanna Mittermaier knows a lot how to be dramatic. I actually don't know it. So we're gonna be discovering this together. Welcome, Susanna.
Thank you, Bruno. And oh my God, I love the title, How to Probably Be Dramatic. And truly, oh my God, how timely is this topic where so much dramatics are going on in this world in so many different ways. And a lot of people are joining the dramatics. So the thing is, when we invite to classes of, hey, how can you have more ease with insanity, what else is possible for you to have more lightness, a lot of people go, no, I don't want to have ease. Like a lot of people avoid the ease, so we're like, okay, let's twist it, let's turn it around, and let's invite people to be more dramatic. So here you go. And as Bruno already said, maybe I'm not the best person to show you how to be dramatic, but let's see. Let's have fun with this. So, yeah, Bruno, what do you know about being dramatic?
Well, it's funny because we are speaking, I think, mostly to Latinos, and well, I know there's Italians here too that I can also assure that know a lot of about drama. I'm not sure
Well, I
about
can
Germans
assure you,
also.
German speakings also know very much, especially lately, about dramatics.
Well, yeah, surely it's a different kind of drama maybe. And the thing is, how much we spend on drama, like time, money, body, energy, and maybe there's something there that we are
Yeah,
not
yeah.
acknowledging. And I don't know, what would it be like if we like what are all the aspects to consider when you are making drama and how can you use it to your advantage, maybe?
That and there you said something really, really important. A lot of people don't even notice that they're being dramatic. And what we mean by dramatic is making your life unnecessarily difficult, whatever that is, however that is in any area, and not even noticing it, just going, oh, that's life. That's normal. It's the only choice that you have. And this is something that's the first step to notice where you are being dramatic. In other words, where are you making your life unnecessarily difficult? If you take one of those areas where it feels like you bang your head against a wall, or not even that intensely, maybe just something where you are daily frustrated, but it has become so normal that you don't even notice it anymore. Yeah, that's like many years ago. I don't know if you know him, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness. He and I had a conversation about pain, and he said, he asked me to do something about that, teach something about it with pragmatic psychology. And the conversation we had was one part where he said a lot of people are experiencing something that he would call normal pain, where they have something frustrating that keeps occurring daily and they don't even notice. And that's something that requires so much of our energy. And the wonderful thing that we are celebrating here, which is consciousness, which is a very pragmatic thing. It basically means turn on the lights, see what is. Hey, hola, hola, Peggy. Um, and it's like you turn on the lights and you start to see what is that you didn't see before. And this is the beauty of it. So when you turn on the lights, like if you right now, if you hear this and you go, you know what, I am ready to turn on the lights, I'm ready to see what is, I am ready to see where I'm making my life unnecessarily difficult. And when you make that choice, what if you have fun with it? You know, just like in this invitation of the Zoom, what if you go, oh my God, look, this is the face I'm making energetically, you know, like I'm being totally dramatic. I'm making it unnecessarily difficult. And now I see it. Yay. You know, it's like so cool when you see it. Next step is don't judge it. You know, when you see yourself being unnecessarily dramatic and difficult making, just go, wow, that's funny. Like add your humor to it. Laugh about it. Or use the tool, wow, interesting point of view. I have this point of view that I'm making it so difficult. And am I trying to be normal? You know, like who am I being? So many people are doing this. Like, how many people do you know who actually truly embrace a life of ease, joy, and glory? Like, maybe nobody or really, really few. So the question, like, who am I being? Like everybody else, or maybe a specific person that, you know, has that similar energy. And truth, am I trying to be normal? And being normal, I'm here again. It's fine. Being normal is not something that suits you. Like, or ask yourself, like, is being normal, is that really a good color on me? And the invitation to go, okay, wow, what else could I choose here? You know, if I wouldn't make myself unnecessarily difficult, what else could I choose? And a lot of people have this secret point of view that if they would choose ease more than ever or more than other people, they would be evil or wrong. And what if that is the biggest lie you've bought? It's like how many times have you been judged, like all of you, for having it too easy or making it too easy for you? And after a while being judged for having things be too easy for you, what do? You go, okay, well, people only like me if I have something difficult going on, or if I, you know, have some pain in some sorts, whether physically or or, you know, psychologically or whatever, financially. And how many of you have then created, like really invented some kind of difficulty so other people are happy with you, or maybe so other people even want to talk to you? And that's so cool to see, right? It's like, oh my God, like how much have I invented difficulty so other people like me, so other people want to talk to me? Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's funny because you said so many things, and I've been like having conversations with people when they are talking about how easy their life is, or how happy they are, or how great their life is. And from my point of view, and from this space using the tools, for me sometimes it's like this space of not so much allowance, but this space of, are you really happy with that? Is that really happy? Is that
Yeah.
really easy?
Yeah.
Because I've known something different now, and of course I've always known, but it's also like with myself when I'm going through a big change, and after that big change, I see the spaces from which I was making the spaces that I was making normal before, that I didn't acknowledge that that was drama and suffering and maybe not ease, that for me was so normal. And that's
Yeah.
how life is. And now I can change it. Now that I have a different space with these new tools, maybe this new class, maybe this new conversation, it's like, wow, was I really living that as that was as like that was ease before? Like, wow, that's insane. This that I know that right now.
Yeah. And that's another element of, you know, where we can go to dramatic, which is when you notice yourself having more ease than, let's say, your family or your wife or your husband or your children or, you know, your colleagues or anyone around you, whether you know, have this when you grew up or now, when you notice yourself having more ease than others, truth, all of you, what do you do? What is your, you know, how do you deal with that? Really look at this. Like while I'm talking about this, look at this. When you notice yourself having more ease, What do you do?
And
What's
that
your way of dealing with that?
and that was the other thing that I was gonna say is like, like maybe we are the main judges of our own ease. Because yeah, people will surely judge us for, oh, we have an easy life or we have it this with more ease. But how much do we judge ourselves for having it more ease or having more joy or being whatever it is that it's greater that maybe other people are choosing?
Yeah, that exactly. Or like someone is writing in the chat, it's like it can't be easy. Yes. And what else? What else? Like, and all of you listening, you have your own little recipe of what you usually tend to do when you notice yourself having more ease than other people, when you have more magic, when you're not dramatic, when your life actually works. And because when you don't have people around you and you have ease, you're like, yay, woohoo, it's wonderful. You like, wow, it's like dancing and nobody's watching, like, woohoo, like you dance in your life like nobody's watching. That's one thing. But when you know someone is watching, when you know someone sees you having ease, joy, and glory with money, with children, with relationship, with your body, like, oh my God, you're going, like, I actually love my body. Oh yeah. Like having all that stuff. When you know someone sees it, what do you do? And that's something I would like ask yourself. And every one of you has their own little way of dealing with this, which is dealing in this way is you avoid it, like allow it. How much are you allowing that until someone sees it? So what do you do? Well, how many of you are, as soon as you're happy and other people are not that happy, how much do you try to take them along? Like bring them to what is possible for them, drag them even if they're screaming and kicking, and take it on and carry them on your shoulders. Yeah. Ouch. And that's a lot of people who have healing capacities in whatever way are doing that version. And that's a very wonderful way for you to being dramatic again. And that's something we in the latest classes have been changing a lot, like a lot of realizing how many, like if you just ask yourself, how many people are you dragging along on your shoulders? Yeah, that's a way to being dramatic, surely, and killing your ease. Yeah. So what else is possible? And again, this is something we've been exploring a lot lately. And really now there's such a different space opening up, and I'm talking about it, but while I'm talking about it, what if you don't just listen to my words and what Bruno says, but also what we are presenting to you on an energetic level, where you can go, okay, I don't know how to change this, but I would love to change this. I would love to actually have ease, joy, and glory, have and live and actualize what's true for me. And it doesn't have to be hooked into the world of other people where I have to drag them along all the time, where I have to limit my possibility, my ease, joy, and glory based on what other people choose or not choose. Yeah. And that's something where we now have the choice to unhook from that reality and go, okay, actually, if I go woohoo, if I go peacock all the way, if I'm like, yeah, woohoo, thriving, living, that's the gift. That's where you actually change the world, contribute to the earth, create a future that works for us. And people, and that's also that space where you actually truly live allowance. You have allowance for you and your shininess, and you also have allowance for other people for their limitations or whatever they choose. And then that's the empowering for them to make the choice for possibilities or not. Right. And that's that big piece allowance, like,
And can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Like it seems like this drama is such a many people space. Like you will find many people there. And the pragmatic side for other, let's say as the other side, seems to be like kind of not that much people there. So my question is, what what are the rewards in terms of engaging in people when you choose the pragmatic side instead of the dramatic side?
The rewards is you. The biggest reward is you and who you truly are, not what you have created yourself as, so other people like you, but the celebration and the luxury and the joy of you being you, no matter what. I mean, that's the biggest reward. That's the biggest profit. And from that, everything else can come. I mean, if you truly, if you allow you as the being to dominate your whole life, how rich are you? How easy will it create for you? Will it be for you to create money, business, or whatever you desire? You know, when you allow your being to dominate who you truly are, dominate everything in your life, how much are the things you're asking for, like money, relationship, body, la la? How much are they just a side effect? Yeah. Rather than having to focus on, I need money, I need to change my relationships, I need to change my body, bam, 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 bam. You know, that's where you focus. But when you focus, you push it away. Every time you focus on something, you push the possibilities away. When you expand out and go, you know what if my being dominates everything? That's where you have that huge playground, that space of invitation, and things actually can come to you that you're asking for. And I love what you say and the way you put it. Drama, in the dramatics, you will find a lot of people there. Definitely. Like, that's peopleness. What do we mean with peopleness? Well, it's not people per se, it's their peopleness, like where they are creating themselves very limited, where they have decided everything that's not possible, their points of view, their judgments. That's the peopleness we talk about. And what I always say is a pragmatic way of dealing with that is feel free, give yourself the luxury to ignore the peopleness. Like, you know, when we, one thing that I do, you know, amongst other things, I'm a psychologist. It's one of the things, you know, that are put in my bio, whatever that means. And one of the things that I created from that is called Pragmatic Psychology, which is a different way of you know, facilitating change around the world for yourself and other people. And one thing that we talk about there, when you want to, facilitating means making easier, like you're the easier maker. You know, I love that word because it's not therapy, it's not coaching, it's like you're the easier maker. You empower people to greater possibilities. And one of the things we do there is, when you work with people, including yourself, very important, including you, when you work with yourself or other people, you listen to who they truly are, not what they have decided they are. And you can do the same with you. And that's what I'm saying. Give yourself the luxury to ignore the peopleness. A lot of people focus on the limitation. They focus on the problem. That's dramatic. You know, when you focus on the problem, what do you get? More problems. You know, like, easy, right? Easy to get. If you focus on the problem, you get more problems. You know, because you put your attention on the problem, and you tell the universe, I'm interested in more problems. And the universe goes, here you go. Same with your body. If you focus on your cellulite, if you focus on your fat, if you focus on any kind of problem, your body goes, oh, that's what you want? More fat, more cellulite, more problems? All right, I can give you that. I don't have a point of view, you know, because the universe, your body, has no point of view. It operates based on your request, you know, based on your ask. So if you ask for more problems, for more difficulties, for more dramatics, voila, here you go. Ask and you shall receive. So what we do with this pragmatic psychology And this training that I do, Pragmatic Practitioner, is where you can have a totally different way of navigating your life, a totally different way of navigating your world, every area, and also your work with other people, whether they're your friends or your family or your clients. And it's the shortcut. It's where you, instead of focusing on the problem, you're like, okay, I hear your problem. I hear my problem every day when I wake up. Oh, my fat, my money, my this, my husband, oh, whatever it is, fill in the blank, whatever the problem is for you. And instead of focusing on, I have to get rid of it, where you fight against it and you create more of it, you go, okay, so what's around it? Like, what's the possibility around it? And when you start to give yourself the luxury to ignore what doesn't work, and put your energy on, in your space, on what actually works, you get more of that. And the beautiful thing is the simplicity of it is, it melts. Like the things that you just were about to fight, they can just melt. And what you put your space on, what you put your energy on, can grow. Simple. And that's the art of simplicity for me, where being pragmatic is a very, very simple thing that a lot of people, when they first come in contact with, go, oh my God, I'm so used to complicated. Like everything has to be difficult because that's how I grew up. And there's a big value in difficulty. The more difficult, the better. I'm a good person if it's difficult, if I work hard. But if things come to me with ease, joy, and glory, well, that's new. It's new, but it's true. You know, it's new for me, but people notice, wow, that's more true for me. It's more congruent with who I truly be. And that's where the playground of possibility starts. The new choice. What if all of you, if you want to, make a new choice starting right now, going, okay, what if I choose more of what is true for me? What if or ask yourself, what is actually true for me? Because a lot of times we don't know, because we have done a lot of things that are good for other people. Like, how much do you know what other people need from you more than what is good and true for you? So this would be something we can practice a lot.
And I love it because that was going to be my question. I was going to ask you about that. Like, when people have dedicated all their lives to solving problems or fixing something or fixing someone, like it could be a really unknown place to go where
Yeah.
when you speak about possibilities. And do you have any tool like to go easier to those unknown possibilities?
Yes, it's acknowledging your sense of adventure. Yeah. A lot of people think they want a recipe, and a lot of people give you recipes. Like, you can just go online. If you have some kind of problem and you put it in there, you're going to have a lot of pages there with people giving you answers and giving you steps and giving you things you should do and the right thing to solve the problem and all of that stuff. And how many of you have tried that? You know, how many of you have actually done that? Followed the steps, all the steps that someone gave you, and then it worked a little bit maybe, but not in the long run, or it didn't work at all, and you judged yourself for, oh, I can't do it. Everybody else can, I can't. So what we do here with this different approach with pragmatic psychology and pragmatic practitioner is, it's, rather than giving you how to do it, it's where you get way more clarity on who you are and what's true for you. And with simple tools and questions, you find your own way of doing it. And that's the empowering part. You know, if you found your way of creating your life, of if you knew you have what it takes to change something, it will be yours forever. You will not need me. You will not need another person or a method. You will be empowered to know that you have what it takes to change whatever you desire. And it will always be yours. And you can trust you, and you will never, ever have to doubt you ever again. give your like and notice how is that space. Imagine if you will never ever have to doubt you again, and you will trust you, and you have total like you just know what you know. Like you ask yourself, oh, I have this uh, opportunity with the job or anything in your life, and you ask yourself the question, what do I know? If I choose this, what future will this create? If I don't choose this, what future will this create? And it will be so clear for you, not as a conclusion, but as a possibility, as an awareness of, wow, this and this is possible. And you totally trust your knowing. You like, it's like, what incredible peace would you have in your world and your body? How much relaxed would you go through your life? Wow, huh? How about that? And that's something that I would like that. Oh my God, like, this is my invitation to the world with everything I do. Also with this work of pragmatic psychology and pragmatic practitioner and all the books I've written and the classes I do and all the talks I do, it's like inviting people to have that trust in themselves and going, I don't have to doubt myself ever again. I have all these tools, I have all these things, and I know how to use them, and I can find out more how to use them. And if I want to, come to another class, or if I want to, get myself more information, I can do that. But it's not from because I need it, but because I choose it. What if you do everything from not because you need it, not because you have a problem or a need, but because it adds to your life, because it makes your life greater and easier and more wonderful. That's a different space to create from, right? And that's something that, man, I did a lot of psychotherapy in those days when I worked as I worked in child oncology and in a psychiatric hospital, and it's been a very different way of working. It's been a very like this giving people me telling people what to do, or supposedly having the answer, and I'm not a fan of that. Like, I'm not a fan of deciding I know better than anyone else. I know what I know about me and about my life, but I can only ask you questions so you can find out what's true for you. And how about doing that? And in this education that I do, like with pragmatic psychology, I used to be the only one, and then I was like, I would like for other people to spread this around the world. And so I started to do a training called Pragmatic Practitioner. And now we have people who are trained in that around the world, and they work with these tools. Some of them work with, all of them work with their own lives. They always use this for them and their body and their life to change everything. But a lot of them also use this with their children, but also in their work. Like some of them use it as a teacher, in businesses. We have doctors who use it, people who work with children, as children coaches for grown-ups. Like, people are actually using this in their field, in their work, and their own lives, very importantly, their own lives. And so this is available now, around the world. So I'm very excited about this different approach and what it can create.
And can I tell a concrete example that I have after taking the class? I took the Pragmatic Practitioner class last year with Susanna, and I didn't know what it was. And it was funny because the creation of my classes, since I'm a facilitator, changed completely in a way that I didn't know what was happening. Sometimes I thought that I wasn't doing anything. Sometimes I thought that I was like just ignoring my classes or ignoring the creation, because it was amazing the ease and the pragmatics of the creation afterwards, and just going, asking a question and trusting what you know, trusting what the universe is telling you, what the class is telling you. And that is just an example of many other things, like, for example, with my body or with my relationships or in sex or whatever. Like, asking a question and trusting whatever it is that you're acknowledging, and using the tools of pragmatic psychology has changed completely the way that I create classes and everything in my life. And I think that's why I want more of that.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a different way of a different relaxation with everything.
That a relaxation. Imagine if you could be relaxed with anything. You get a bill sent to you that is bigger than you thought, and instead of going, oh my god, Dios mío, my life is over, or go into panic, you knew, oh, wait a second, I have tools. And even before you remember that you have tools, you become a space of, I don't need to react anymore. Like, why? Like, reaction is such a thing that we've learned that is normal, especially in psychology. And there's like a lot of theories of how you should react and what's the right way, and a lot of us very aware people in dramatic situations, like how many times do you then go, in the first nanosecond you actually have ease, and then you go, wait a second, I'm supposed to react because that's normal. And then you use your awareness, you use your tentacles, and you go, what is the reaction now? What is the appropriate way of reacting here and being dramatic here? And then you use your awareness in a way that is not kind to you. You like pull in the correct dramatic reaction so other people are not freaked out by you, because a lot of people are actually freaked out by you if you choose to have ease during glory. And that's also another thing, where are you willing to freak other people out by having more ease than is normal? What if that is not a wrongness? And while you're willing to freak out people with your ease, what invitation will you be to those who are asking for what you have? This is where you can be the leader. This can grow your business. This can grow your whatever you are creating, your product line. Because if you don't avoid what you are and be it, you can actually invite. That's where you finally actually can be the invitation to so many more people looking for what you have. And that's what I found when I tried to be a normal psychologist, which was very hard work for me, very hard work. I had to contract myself. I had tried to talk like, you talk as a normal psychologist, and it made me very unhappy. And it didn't really work for my business either. But when I went, you know what? If people want normal, they have a lot of other people to go to. The buffet is huge. But if I let that go, I'm going, hey, I'm me. You can judge me. That's fine. You can find me horrible, whatever you choose. It's fine. Go for it. Um, when I had that allowance for being all in, going, peacock all the way, being different, being weird, especially when I brought out my first book, which was definitely a very different way of, creating change, the first Pragmatic Psychology book. Holy wow. I I was so like, I was so trying to avoid people's reaction. But when I relaxed into it, when I relaxed into the difference that I be, everything started to grow in my life. People actually came to me and said, hey, I want to have a session with you. Can I come to your class? Like, this is where the classes grew, the business grew, the finances grew. Like, people were actually inspired because I didn't hide myself anymore. I allowed myself to be shamelessly me, you know? And that's like another invitation of you. What if you choose to be shamelessly you, which is unapologetically you, in other words, where you don't hide yourself anymore, where you don't hold yourself back, where you just go, hi, this is me. And what else can I be? And you enjoy the space and the luxury of being everything you are, shamelessly you. And what I noticed is people are so grateful when you be that, because there's a lot of us who use shame as a way to distracting us from being us, and when you don't need to be ashamed anymore for who you are, when you go, okay, this is me, and I'm done with judging me, I am done with making other people's judgments of me relevant, hi world, here I am. I like you notice your own value. That's where everything can grow. And that's where you can have so much more of the fun and the adventure of living and thriving.
That is so amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really grateful with you for this invitation in this different space. And I'm also so grateful that you're choosing to come to Latin America to share these tools.
Yeah.
How did we get so lucky? And well, just thank you so much for this. I think
I
this
am
is
looking
a
forward.
melting conversation.
Yeah.
And for everyone to know, we're having two amazing classes in Mexico, in Guadalajara, in 1 month, I think. And it's we will have a 1 day Shamelessly You class, an amazing class to get your feathers out in the world and show you and gift
Yeah.
yourself to the world. And then we wanted to do it easy for you guys to have this. So we're having a 2 day pragmatic practitioner class without prerequisites. That it's amazing. All the tools and the space and the awareness and the consciousness that you're gonna receive in that class is invaluable, really. And also knowing that you can take these both classes online, it's a gift. Gift.
Yeah. I really love it because the shameless like the just the 1 day class that we're gonna have in Guadalajara in Mexico and online, so you can come to Mexico, you can also join us online from wherever. It's really that invitation of, as I said before, it's like, what if you're not ashamed of you anymore? It's like, what else could you bring into the world? What else could you express? If you take away that element of, I need to hide from judgments, I need to hide from being punished or whatever, destroyed, I need to hide from being destroyed, like, what freedom and what peace could you have of being you, but also creating, expressing you in whatever way? What have you always desired to bring into the world that you have held back? And that's a huge invitation for me with the Shamelessly You class. And that's why we have the peacock as the, on the graphic, because for me, the peacock is like, that's like shamelessly used, like, hi, I'm beautiful and I know it. And you can receive me or not. Like, my beauty, my shininess is not dependent on your reaction. It's like that luxury and the joy of being you and the inspiration you are to the world. So that's the 1 day Shamelessly You class. And then the 2 day Pragmatic Practitioner class, also in Guadalajara and online, is it's that art of facilitating change for you and other people. Like, if you in every situation of your life knew that you have what it takes and you have the tools to change it, how wonderful, relaxed could you be? How peaceful could you be? How much could all of life come to you with ease and joy and glory? So Pragmatic Practitioner is its own life form now. People, as I said, use it around the world. You can, after the class, also use it for your life. You can also use it for your work with other people in whatever area you work with in. And it's where you learn to use tools to facilitate change, like with other people, with yourself. And it's a very different way of doing that than any other coaching or anything. And it's really a wonderful way to include you. And yes, so welcome to join us. I am super excited. I'm not in the Latin world very often, very seldom actually. So this would be a really cool chance to come and join us live or online from wherever you are. It's a worldwide party.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining and give yourselves the gift of common creating and changing with Susanna. It's really a gift, an amazing gift in my life, and I would like to share it with all of you. And if you can come to Guadalajara and have tequila with us, you can surely be from your home online. And it's an amazing different class in access consciousness that it's gonna change so much in you. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you, Susanna.
Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you,
Thank you, Bruno's
translators.
funny.
Yeah, he's over there in this Zoom. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Muchas gracias.
And whichever information you require about the classes, you can contact me or Darinka or Eugenia or Ingrid or Anne. And what else is possible for other places too? Susanna is going to be going to many different countries, facilitating Pragmatic Practitioner, Italy, Germany, maybe and other places. So it's going to be a pleasure for us to meet you there. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and see you next time. Bye bye.